Okay, so let me drag stuff on the other screen and let's go for the next topic. So we last time went for IAM, identity and access management, and now we need to go for EC2, and that is Elastic Compute Cloud or Cloud Compute. So if we okay, right. I'll just type here EC2. Okay, so excuse me. Secure and resizable compute capacity to support virtually any workload. So Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud. So it's first of all, the virtual machine is just simply called Elastic Compute Cloud, and is a web service that provides secure, resizable compute capacity in the cloud. So compute capacity is just your processing and memory and SSD, the disks, the storage, and the networking. Basically, it's processing and RAM. It is designed to make web-scale cloud computing easier for developers. Amazon EC2's simple web service interface allows you to obtain and configure capacity with minimal friction. So pretty much we can create virtual machines really easily. That's what it's saying in English. So it provides you with complete control of your computing resources, virtual machines, and lets you run on Amazon's proven computing environment. Well, that's what we talked about already, that they have amazing amount of investment done on their data centers. Amazon EC2 offers the broadest and deepest compute platform with choice of processor, storage, networking, operating system, and purchase model. So they have the broadest and deepest compute platform. We offer the fastest processors in the cloud, and we are the only cloud with 400 Gbps Ethernet networking. So they are saying that it's immense bandwidth they are able to offer. We have the most powerful GPUs, graphical processing unit. So you can go for Bitcoin mining there. We have the most powerful GPU instances for machine learning training and graphics workloads, as well as the lowest cost per inference instances in the cloud. That's more SAP, HPC, and machine learning and Windows workloads run on AWS than any other cloud. So they're just saying that any kind of heavy application, heavy in terms of an application that really consumes a lot of CPU, maybe 32 core or maybe even more than that, 64 core processors, or 1 terabyte RAM. That's huge already, and terabytes and terabytes of disks, underlying SSD disks. So it says that no matter which big application you want to deploy on our virtual machines, we can take it. We can really host any kind of application you put on our virtual machines, which is offered by the EC2 service or Elastic Compute Cloud. So pretty much you can create virtual machines, nearly 400 instances for virtually every business need. Now 400 instances, so these are the types, 400 different types of virtual machines they offer. Still, what does that mean? Different types. How would we say that it's different? It would be one machine with 1 GB RAM and 1 vCPU, 1 core, single core vCPU. So that's first type. And then there is two. You just keep on increasing the CPU. You put in the RAM, types of disks that you're attaching, and the bandwidth, network bandwidth. So this way they have 400 types of virtual machines with different types of virtual hardware, different types of CPU process and RAM capacity, memory capacity that they're offering. So that's a long list for virtually every business need. Suppose you want to deploy a SQL server, so they just say that, hey, okay, we have that kind of machine that really is suitable for database servers and for all of the types of servers that really require a lot of computing or CPU and memory. Only cloud provider that supports Mac OS. So yes, they did now start with Mac as well. So you can have Mac machines as well up there now. 24 regions and 77 availability zones globally, and choice of Intel, AMD, and ARM-based processors. So all types of industry-based processors that you want. Then for the virtual machines service that the AWS offers, it's a reliable, scalable infrastructure on an on-demand, increase or decrease capacity within minutes. So it's hot add, which means that you can remove the CPU while machine is up, or well, actually you cannot remove or add the network card while the machine is up, but it says that within minutes. So very less time you can just increase or decrease the capacity, like CPUs or RAM, or especially the storage capacity, not hours or days. SLA commitment of 99.99% availability for each Amazon EC2 region. So that's availability that they're talking about. And when we go for availability chart, so if I just put there 99.9% availability means, oops, there are people reconnecting. Okay, so what does 99.99% availability means? Or there's a availability chart that I wanted to just share. That when you go for 99.9% or 3 nines or 8 nines or 10 nines, so what does it really mean, right? So it's okay, so it would be the high availability that we are talking about, that how much level of availability 90%. So this means that downtime per year would be 36 days. So this means the company, if they're saying, hey, 90% your machines will be up, but this means also that for 36.5 days, if it is down, we're not gonna reimburse you anything, or you're not gonna be going for any punitive actions or punishments. Normally it's reimbursement of money. Downtime per day would be 2.4 hours. So 2 nines, 99%, 3 days in a year. 3 nines would be 8 hours in a year, right? And 5 nines would be 5 minutes in a year. 4 nines, it's 52 minutes. 5 nines, 5 minutes in a year that your machine can be down, but not more than that. And 6 nines, that is 31 seconds per year. So the companies that are offering 99.9999% high availability of their applications, those companies would definitely have invested on their engineers, as well as or IT gurus, IT experts, as well as the mechanisms of making the application highly available if they are offering 99.9999%. So what the AWS is offering is 99.9%. So this means that AWS is saying 52 minutes in a year. 52 minutes in a year. That if your machine is down, then we're gonna try to obviously get it back but we're not going to be liable for reimbursements. But if it is more than that, yes, there will be then reimbursements that AWS has to give because they could not keep your machines or applications up, within this time frame, and the machine was maybe down for more than 52 minutes. So whatever is the more, they will have to pay for that. So that's how the whole structure here goes for whenever you see 99. Now in storage topic, you're gonna actually see 11 nines, which is ridiculous, right? But they are saying that we will give you a guarantee of 99 point, then you keep on going 99999 until 11 nines. You don't even see 11 nines here, right? So it's 6 nines are actually 31 seconds. So what would be 11 nines? So the main thing is that there's 7 nines as well, and 6 nines. Mostly the tables show 7 or 6 nines. Anyway, so the thing is that if Amazon is claiming that they can just keep your data up and running for throughout the year, and you might have a loss not more than, or downtime not more than 52%. So I'll just put that. Okay, so what are the SLAs? SLAs. Really? Okay. So this would be the SLA, and whenever you hear anywhere SLA that how many nines are they offering, they have to back it up. Otherwise, they will have to reimburse a lot of money back if the downtime is more than what they claim. Companies do charge a lot. Then, hey, I'm offering you 6 nines, so yeah, you have to pay me per month this many thousands of dollars because I'm offering you this. And if it is, if your machine is down more than this time, we're gonna reimburse you. So, but throughout the year, they they really consume a lot. So banks really do those kind of deals. That those web budgets, they go for these kind of deals for high availability. But then obviously then Amazon is saying that 99.9%, which is again it's going to be 52 minutes of downtime per year only. That's what they're claiming, not more than that per year, only 52 minutes. So that's pretty big claim. And obviously when disaster strikes, they just have to get it back up as soon as possible, and they have that kind of investment there with high availability and copying your data in multiple zones and multiple data centers. So the AWS region and AZ model, availability region and availability/availability zone model, has been recognized by Gartner as the recommended approach for running enterprise applications that require high availability. Well, so there is a company that is really checking whose standards are better than others. Secure compute for your applications with the AWS Nitro system. Virtualization resources are offloaded to dedicated hardware and software, minimizing the attack surface. So thing is that they are secure as well. The virtual machines are running on top of their own hardware. They make it. They don't sell it outside. They just make it for themselves. And so let's I removed it. Gideon, come on, what are you doing? Okay, so here lockdown security model prohibits administrative access, eliminating possibility of human error and tampering. So I don't know what's going on. Students are reconnecting again and again. Is there a sound quality related issue here? Okay, so flexible options to optimize cost, and with on-demand pay for only the compute you need, gain up to 40% better price performance with AWS Gravitation 2 based instances, or 10% lower cost with AMD based instances. So Netflix is really very famous for using AWS, and they do offer videos on demand services, and that really you would not see lagging there, right? And then Volkswagen is also using that, easy to migrate and build apps, and then it keeps on going. Building blocks are faster innovation, increased security, choice of processors is immense, long list, and then there is high performance storage, EBS. Now when we talk about EBS, that is elastic block storage, and we may have talked about before as well. EC2 is a virtual machine. EBS is a virtual disk, right? Virtual disk of a virtual machine, right? So that's EBS. Provides easy to use high performance block storage for use with Amazon EC2. Enhanced networking, and that is, they already say 400 Gbps bandwidth they are providing. Choice of purchasing model. So there are spot instances. We're going to talk about that now. What are spot instances? And there are savings plan as well. You can save up to 90% for fault tolerant workloads. With savings plan, you can save up to 72% savings with committed usage and flexible across EC2, Fargate, and Lambda. So they're just saying that, hey, if you commit with us for 2 years, obviously they're gonna lower the price. That's pretty much with every other company as well. You just commit. So all these case studies really tell that how companies really adopted or migrated their workloads and critical applications, critical data to Amazon AWS, right? So these are some of the big names there that use AWS already. And then what's new about the virtual machines? What kind of new virtual machines are there? So we're gonna try to explore all that now, and hopefully you're able to log in. So this is the page for EC2. I'll put it there. Okay, so now what we need to do is that we're going to log in from our IDs, right? So I'll just go to the services area. So when you log in, you can go to the services area. Now IAM access has been removed as per AWS Educate, and now EC2 has been given to you. What is EC2? First of all, when you log in, you can see on the top right, your ID should be showing there, obviously. Second thing, maybe you are seeing on the right side global, or you're seeing on the right side, depends on the service you have, you're going for, you're logged into, you're seeing, you would see North Virginia or Ohio. If it is Ohio, then change it to North Virginia by simply clicking on top of it. If it's and North Virginia already US East 1, you're good. If it's Ohio, then change it to North Virginia by clicking on the top here. Then I'm just going to go ahead and once you log in, you need to go to services, and in the services, hopefully you're doing that. If you click the services here, you can see all the categories there: compute, storage, databases, customer enablement, machine learning, front end, web, and mobile. So all that. But we're going for compute, and inside the compute, we're going for EC2, which is the most popular and most used services by a lot of companies. So I'm going to go click that, EC2. So hopefully you're able to click that. If you are not able to find that, although that's just a start one, so you can just type on the top search here as well, EC2. If you type here, then you will also be able to find that, virtual servers in the cloud. So let's go ahead and click EC and 2. So Amir says, so what is the account ID? 12 digits. I am user only. Okay. What is the exact question there? Let me check it out. I am. So you want to log in, you're unable to log in, and then you're asking this, or I just show you. These are the username, right? So that's your username. The account ID, okay, yeah, that's the URL for. Oh, there you go. By the time I realized it's there already. Thank you, Paul. Okay, so let's go ahead okay. So services on the left side and EC2, right? Once you are inside the EC2, Elastic Cloud Compute, which is just another name for virtual machine, so you would see this dashboard, right? And this dashboard, and obviously on the right side you need to make sure you're in North Virginia And sometimes just students don't realize, even if you're in Ohio, by mistake you're way ahead and you realize, oh, I'm in Ohio, so it's not a big deal. But remain in North Virginia because all the advanced features are there. We may miss some of the features, sub feature, sub feature, may or may not, right? So not a big deal if you're in Ohio, but better let's just keep it consistent with everyone. So make sure you're on top right, you see North Virginia there. Okay, that's first thing. And second thing is that this is a big dashboard, right? So EC2 dashboard, events, tags, limits, then there's instances category here. If I click that, if I collapse that arrow sign, so instances is the first category, then I collapse this, images is the second one, collapse elastic block store, network and security, load balancing, auto scaling, right? So these are the main categories there within just the EC2 dashboard. So this is the whole dashboard for creating and configuring virtual machines and configuring its advanced features. So Amir, what's the error? You can so you can just put the error there. So it depends on what exactly it's saying, or just the username password is wrong. Then try to remember. Your authentication information is incorrect. So the username is the password then that you need to know. Anyone else having issues logging in? So it's I think it's my username. Well, Amir, that's your username here. Control C. No, it's not dot. It's dash. Yeah. Oh, indeed. Okay. So hopefully you're able to log in now, and let me just go back here. EC2. So once we are EC2, so these are all the categories there. What I want you to do is that everyone please collapse all these. So just click on this and it will collapse, and lapse, another collapse, right? So just collapse all these, and you should be in North Virginia, and your college ID obviously is showing here. So that would be your first screenshot. I am having an issue to can't log in. Can't log in, Brady? So what's the error, Brady? And do you remember your... So guys, you will be taking your side of screenshot, obviously not mine. So your ID should be showing there. What with these collapsed icons, while I check for Brady what happens. Sir, could you reset my password? Okay. And the screenshot number 1 is EC2 dashboard. Screenshot name is EC2 dashboard. But I'll show you again. Let me just quickly resolve this. Users. Ready? You're also having issue. Let me know. Credentials. Console password. Custom password. Okay, small ABC, capital ABC, 1, 2, 3. So Amir, this is the password I'm giving, and require change password. So you just put this password. Don't put it now. Apply now. You can put it. Ready? Are you able to log in or not? You need to know your username. Users. Ready? This is your username. This is one. It's dash. It's hyphen here. It's not underscore. And if you remember your password, then try it. Ready? You're there. You're good? You're not good? Because I'm here, that's why I'm asking. Oh, it doesn't work? So let me just restart your password. Ready? Hopefully, and you're putting the correct account ID. So guys, the account ID as 2021. So we went for what, 2021, right? So that's account ID, and then college ID dash name and password, right? So wow, is if your notification on the EC2 dashboard going to cause any problems? Well, it's in Ohio, and try to check this, Paul, in North Virginia region as well. And API error would be just a lack of permissions, but it should let you create a virtual machine. If not, then I'll just try to check it out. But no, it should not be cause of any errors for logging in. So two students are still stuck, Brady and Amir. So guys, all others are logged in? Yes. Okay, thank you for the reply. Brady, I'll just quickly change your password. Not sure why you guys are not able to log in. Brady, your temporary password is this: small ABC, capital ABC, 123. There's no shift 123, just 123. Amir, I think you also got it. So I'm changing the password for Brady now, and Brady, go ahead and try. Now try. The same error Amir says, Brady says same error. Wow. Okay. So guys, just keep a screenshot of the error, because we can just t-shoot for a certain time. Then I'll give you enough time to just upload the video. Try to check it out, because I can change password. Hopefully you have all the information. You have to have this correct one. Hopefully Amir, there was one missing here when I copied it from up there, so it is 2021, and then your ID, name, and the password. So hopefully you both are doing this. If not, then guys, just take a screenshot of that error, and then I'll understand that why you were not able to upload today. So username, password, and account ID, that's all we can give, right? So this is a console, and account ID is under that, and obviously that's what is copied here. This is the account ID, right? And yep, everything seems to be the same. So URL, account ID, and ID, name, and your password. Oh, Brady got it. Not 202. Yeah, 2021. Okay, you got it, right? So I'll just copy the whole thing there as well, and in the chat, so you can use it. Hopefully you're logged in. Alright guys, so many of us have already taken the first screenshot, and that is, I'm going to go to services here. Once you're logged in, you go to services, you go to EC2, that's the first one, under the compute, and then you just need to collapse instances, images, elastic block store, network security, load balancing, auto scaling. You need to collapse all this. Let me just take a screenshot, sample screenshot here, and make sure your ID is showing on the top right. And its name is, screenshot number 1 name is EC2 dashboard. EC2 dashboard. I'll put it quickly there. Screenshot uno, screenshot 1, EC2 dashboard. Alright, and on WhatsApp, COMP3108, screenshot 1, EC2 dashboard. Right, so let's okay, there is who's sharing? Oh, Amir is sharing. Your authentication information is incorrect. Dash, and Yeah. So Amir, I think today the AWS does not like you. So it's a very oh, solved. Okay, cool. Otherwise, I was gonna give you a very technical reason for that. That it's not letting you in. It just doesn't like you, right? So that's a very technical reason. Okay. So but it's resolved, so that's good. Alright, guys. The first screenshot taken, and let's go. Hurry up before Amir could take a screenshot. Let's just go quickly to the next one. Oh, just kidding. Okay. So what we're trying to do here is there's instances here, and in the under the instances you can see that there is instances types, launch templates, spot requests, savings plans, reserved instances. But what we're going to do is we're going to try to get down to action right away, and what we can do is we can click this instances. So under the instances, let's click this instances. Once we create an instance or a virtual machine, then you will be able to go ahead and understand all the services that go with it, right? So just creating one virtual machine might be a very easy task, but what are the services that are being offered while you create a virtual machine is what we need to understand, and what each service really do. So once we click the instances here, then on the top right you see here launch instances. So let's click go for that, this launch instances. I hope everyone is able to do that. So let's click launch instances, right? And there you go, error loading AMI data. Okay, that was not funny. What? Anyone else see that? No, right? You guys are good? I'll just refresh that. This means guys, do you all see this? No kidding. Okay, so let me fix that right away. What happened? Oh yeah, that happened. Sorry. Okay, so there's a group full access, and so permissions and full access. Okay, I did give the permission to your group there. Amazon EC2 full access and access advisor. Yeah, that's the access policy that gives you full access to anything EC2, right? So this EC2 full access. Okay, policy usage by who? Actually, you all have it. Service still and Tuesday. This group also has it. So the policy itself is actually giving, but so I gave it to the group, but it's not really doing it. So what I can do is, and that is really strange, but oh, region, global. Yeah, it's IAM is global. And guys, everyone is in North Virginia region, right? When you come to EC2, actually it doesn't have to do anything with the region. If I go, yeah, I'm on North Virginia. Okay, so that's the first thing. You know what? You guys are all added there in this security group, and student EC2 admin. So if I had to connect this policy to every user, so these are all the this class students, and permission is Amazon EC2. Really? Okay. EC2. What else? This Amazon EC2 full access is the only one that I gave last time, or every time whenever I give EC2 full. Okay, EC2 access. Let me just quickly go for that. Full. Well, actually, the whole full access is already given. Oh, there's another set of permissions. So what's the error? Because it's not supposed to happen like this. Let me just quickly go back here. Instances, launch instances, error loading AMI, and quick start. Yeah, quick start normally has all the AMIs showing there. Okay, groups. I think I have to attach. I'll just quickly attach it to all the users, and then you can just try again. But this is not something that it doesn't make sense. Why would they do that? I'll check the group again. Remove users from add users to group. Attach policy. Okay, so other than that, I could. Oh, you have some other policies also attached to your usernames, right? So if I go to any one of your usernames, what else you have attached? Your Amazon EC2 instance, tags, security credentials. You don't have anything that is restricting you. So yes, you guys only have this policy. Show one more. What's this? Amazon EC2 full access, and I am changing the password. Okay, actually this is what we were trying to see. Very strange. Okay, I didn't want to give it to every user, but looks like this other task, and that's really not very productive. So you got permission from groups, but you also are getting permission for EC2 full access directly to the user, which is what I was, trying to avoid that. Hey, are you kidding? So who did I just give now? Brady. Brady, can you check if you got this? And I'll just quickly go for another user. Gideon, Dylan. Really, if I have to do this, what's the seriously? Why did it? Normally we just connect it to the group, but it's just not working. So, Gideon, can you also go to the virtual machine and try it again, and let me know. Dylan, and can I just attach policy to multiple people at the same time? Yes, not. Serious. Well, AWS is impressive, but this is not impressive at all. Background sync may be an issue, or Dylan, can you check if you can load that? Vincent, are you? Vincent is in this class. Okay, no reply. Khalid is in this class. Come on, move it. Wow. Really? Aren't you just got the Yusuf? Please check if once I attach this policy, are you able to see the full interface and that error is gone or not? Thank you. Okay, you got the permission. So, Yusuf, can you please check and, what else? Ahmed? Ahmed. Keith is in this class. Hey, are we connected? Are you able to hear me? Because that's too quiet. Yeah, I don't have the error, but I never had the error. Oh, okay. So you never had the error. So guys, how many were getting the error? Okay, everyone can see this this one, and if you go to instances, are you still getting this error? Oh, I don't get this error now. So your screen should look like this when you go to instances the first time. No error. Okay, cool. Anyone else having error? No error for me. Hamid, you have an error? I guess we should wait for Gideon. He's not. No. Okay. Okay. So. See, Gideon is okay. Gideon was always okay. Come on, man. So. Yes. See. So. Gideon is our hero. Okay, so, and me too, please. I don't have access to add policy rules too. Should I have one? No, you should not have. Only I should have one. Deong. Okay, guys, so if you're there, so you can see, first of all, my quick start here, and there is my AMIs. So quick start obviously is all your type of virtual machines or EC2 instances that you can start. Obviously, it's a long list. There's Amazon Linux, Mac OS Carolina, Mac OS Mojave, Red Hat Linux, SUSE Linux, and Ubuntu. Then Microsoft Microsoft Windows Server 2019 base, right? And it goes on. The list goes on. I mean, there is a number there. So there are 41 Amazon machine images or AMIs, right? So that's one thing. And if you, we're gonna start from here obviously, but if you go to the my AMIs just means that you create your own image. You just select some virtual machine, and the operating system is already there. Then you install some more software there, you customize that machine, and then you create an image of your own and upload it here or add it here. So you can just have your AMIs or Amazon machine images, pretty much your machines there. AWS Marketplace, if you go down here to AWS Marketplace, that's where you can purchase any third-party EC2 instance, any third-party software, enterprise-grade software installed already on either a Windows or a Linux or a Mac operating system on top of a virtual machine with some kind of CPU, some level of CPU, whatever that software. Suppose Barracuda would require 16 GB or 32 GB RAM, or a 2 core or 8 core processor. So according to the third party or the company's software, whatever virtual hardware in terms of CPU and memory and hard disk is needed, so a ready-made machine is there for you. You just have to pay $4,500 or $4,600 per year. That's all, and you can have this for 1 year, right? So 12% saving. Ouch. Okay. So the thing is that you can, for big companies, it still would be peanuts. But what about BSD? Well, it should be there. You can just make a search, and if they put it, they have pretty much all the flavors there. They are supposed to have. Otherwise, you can see here the amount of types of virtual machines: 3,000 infrastructure software related virtual machines, DevOps, 2,300 types of virtual machines or software. That many companies have business applications, 1,000, machine learning, 161, IoT, Internet of Things, 146 type of machines or software, industries, 320 types of software are there, right? So pretty much all the major mainstream software are there deployed on a EC2 virtual machine with recommended virtual hardware there, right? So if we go for Barracuda, suppose that's what you need. Barracuda is what? Cloud generation firewall for AWS. So suppose the company says, oh, I want to actually purchase Barracuda. So let's click that. Obviously, we're not going to go ahead and purchase that. So let's just click that Barracuda, and just to see that what's inside, how does it really start, what is it offering. So you can see that there's a long list of, first of all, the Barracuda Cloud Gen Firewall is a purpose-built cloud generation firewall engineered for rapid deployment, blah, 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 blah. So this is just a software firewall, and it's pretty famous in the market. And then second thing you see there that it's a free trial. You can just use it for 30 days. When you use it for 30 days, yes, you're not paying for the software, but you still have to pay for the underlying hardware, because you need to run this virtual machine. When you power on, it's going to use CPU, it's going to use RAM, it's going to use bandwidth and hard disk. So that all you need to still pay for the trial period here, right? And underlying hardware you need to pay. Authorized to perform AWS Marketplace. Yeah, guys, I blame Ahmed. It's Hamid, Gideon. So it's because Hamid reported the error first. Oh no, Gideon reported the error first. But you're blaming each other, right? So okay, yeah. Okay, guys. The thing is, you may not have access to Marketplace, but I'm showing it here. We don't have to have a screenshot here, and definitely we're not going to purchase anything for 30 days even, because that's really going to cost dearly whoever to whom it belongs to. I mean, so the thing is, you just need to see it. You don't have to go inside. And one more thing that I want to show you is instance type here, right? Instance type T2 small, T2 medium, extra large, 2x large, T3 small, T3 medium, extra large, large, C4, 2x large, 4x large, and it goes on and on and on, right? So these are just T2 small would have 1 core CPU and 0.5 GB RAM. T2 medium would have more CPU and RAM. T2 X large would have more CPU and RAM. So it's just that difference. And then they call it this way on AWS, right? But they also tell you that if you really want to have a small machine, it's gonna cost you this 0.623 cents per hour, and the software would cost you that. Other than that, you can see that latest version of what? Linux, Unix, base operating system is Linux, Unix, and then, well, that's it. And all the information that you really want, that how does it really work, and 0.10 cents per GB per month of provision storage. So the EBS, which is Elastic Block Storage, which is simply a virtual disk, will cost you this much if your usage is not immense. And Barracuda Cloud Gen firewall. So that's all about it. And then you can just okay, this is the virtual hardware, this is the operating system, I get to know everything, and then click continue and just simply buy it, right? So just to show you that how does it look like when you go for a machine in a marketplace, you just have to choose the hardware and check every other configuration and then go ahead and purchase it, and it just gets downloaded to your AWS. Underlying, as soon as you power on this machine, then underlying hardware usage, they start counting that, and they charge you at the end of the month. So I'm going to cancel out from here, and well, that's a huge category, and that's a lot of software there. Pretty much all the mainstream companies are there with their software, right? So this is on the left side is AWS Marketplace. Under that is Community AMIs. Let's click that. Community AMIs, which is obviously open source community. Those guys have uploaded these, and they're maintaining it. Just some developers across the planet have been adding, and you can see that it's 100,000, more than 100,000 AMIs, Amazon Machine Images, uploaded by the community, right? So pretty much all flavors are there, and you can just check whichever other flavor you're looking for. But that's like a huge amount of, that's a combination of so virtual machine with just an operating system, or virtual machine with a software and an operating system, right? So that's why it's 100,000, more than 100,000 types of community-based virtual machines that independent developers are uploading there. So suppose you choose one of those community AMIs. Yes, they are open source, but still you have to use the underlying hardware, and you pay AWS for usage of CPU, RAM, hard disk, network, right? But yeah, the rest of it would be open source, unless you went for Red Hat, so you need to purchase a license, obviously. Okay, so other than that, if we go to the quick start again, this one, right? quick start. Now you see all the machines that are there. Now one more thing is you can see this gray box there, free tier eligible, right? And you see that written here as well, and you don't see that for Mac OS, right? Free tier eligible is not there. So obviously it's something that you just need to pay as soon as you start create this machine. So I'm gonna click that free tier only, right? On the left side, let's click free tier only. Now whatever machine you start would be available as a free tier. So let's go ahead. Now where are we going? We need to just start a Windows 2019 base image. That's, I think, the 6th or 7th machine here. So if you go, first you have clicked this, right? Free tier only. If you have clicked that, then keep going down until you see the first Windows Server 2019 image. And I see that, I think this is 7th or 8th one. Microsoft Windows Server 2019 base image, right? So this is what we can go for. And if you see that, then there's on the right side you see select. Under that is 64-bit. Let's click the select, right? Once you click the select, then the next page comes, which looks like this. On the top you can see choose instance type is the name of the page. And what do you do here? Amazon EC2 provides a wide selection of instance types optimized to fit different use cases. Instances are virtual servers that can run applications. They have varying combinations of what? CPU, memory, storage, and networking. That's the page networking capacity, right? So this page offers varying combinations of CPU, memory, storage, and networking capacity. So that it's pretty much, when you keep going down, the CPU numbers change, memory changes, EBS or virtual disk type changes, and then network performance changes. Okay. Khalid says, which OS did you choose? It's you're not authorized to perform this section. Okay. So guys, here, click this free tier only on the left side, and then go down to this, right? So let me copy that there. Windows Server 2019 base. Okay, Keith, what happened? You can refresh and try again. Go back and launch instance again. So hopefully you guys got it. So Windows Server 2019 base. If so, this is on choose AMI. And if you're so from this page we went ahead, Microsoft Server 2019 base, and click select, right? Hopefully you got it. Okay, and so we were talking about, this is the main point to understand varying combinations of CPU, memory, storage, and networking capacity, right? Okay, Paul shows a picture here, and describing your selected AMI. You're not authorized to perform this operation. Really? Okay. I'll just attach the policy directly to you instead of inheriting from the I'm getting this error, that's the error, I'm getting Keith. Okay, Keith and Paul are getting this error, right? So let me just quickly attach the policy directly to you. So somehow it should really work with the groups, but so I'll just type add permission. Okay, and what was the spelling? EI, sorry. And add permission. EC2F. So Paul, you can check, maybe refresh, sign out, sign in, and now you should not be seeing any of those errors. Well, I got the errors and Kong. Okay. Did you put that name there? Kongli. Okay. So let me just quickly, guys, anyone else getting an error? So I'll just quickly give whoever else is getting an error. If you're not, then you're good. The policy reached you already. Others, it may not have reached. Wow. And okay, so Keith, you're okay, which means, right? Is it cause we got the API error cause on the first screenshot? I had that too. Oh, okay. Well, I attached the policy directly to your username. It should be okay now, because there is no other way other than this. This is supposed to work right away, or as soon as possible. Okay, you guys are good. So hopefully you're good, and we can go ahead. Right? So I'm on this page, and varying combinations of CPU, memory, storage, and networking capacity. Okay, cool. So here, now you can see that your machine will be always selected by default. Your machine means the one that is free tier eligible is only one here. Now this is actually free forever. T2.micro, when our free tier, normally AWS gives you free tier for 12 months. For 1 year you can do a trial and use all the services of AWS. For per month there are still some limitations. Suppose for a virtual machine, so first of all, what is free tier? 1 year free tier, what is that? You connect your credit card. They just need to know you are who you say you are, right? By credit card, they need to know that. And then they don't charge you for 1 year if you don't breach the limits. What is the limit? Suppose virtual machine, you cannot use more than 750 hours of virtual machine per month in the free tier, right? In the free tier. So after it turns to pay as you go, then obviously you need to pay as you go. Okay, so anyway, this is free forever, but you can see how much strong this machine is. It's just one vCPU, poor one vCPU, and poor 1 GB RAM. So not much we can do with this. But obviously, if you need to put databases on top of that, this is definitely not the machine for you. Oh, Conley, you don't have permission to view the instance types list. You need to grant your IAM user permission to use the describe instance types API for more information. Okay. Really? Conley, you're not seeing this? Okay. Oh, I did attach to you EC2 full access now. Conley, I think you need to just refresh because no one else is getting this error. So it's a matter of time. So Conley, can you refresh your page because you got all the permissions you needed. Okay, guys. Okay. So now, as we were talking about this, so you can just get an idea. If you keep going down, it's a long list. Remember, it's 400 types of machines. So whatever types, sometimes the processor is huge. It's a lot of processing there, a lot of cores there, and the memory is less. Sometimes the memory is huge and cores are less. So and then they name the machines as G4D and suppose .12x large. That's 48 cores and 192 GB RAM and 900 SSDs. So actually it's not 900, it's one SSD 900 GB. Okay, so then there are 4 SSDs, and this is the speed there, actually capacity. So you can just see that you want to choose, and you can also see that up to 10 gigabits bandwidth. So it's a combination of what you want, combination of CPU, RAM, storage, bandwidth, right? So this is the 4, and suppose you purchase an application, a SAP application there, for running a company, and you would just go to the vendor and the vendor documentation, and just read out from the documentation that, oh, okay, so I need this much cores and this much RAM. So you would know right away from the vendor site. Okay. Now, not much on this page other than that you can just choose the machine of what you really need. But we're going to strictly only keep this selected and go ahead. Do not select anything else. So only we're going to select this, which is already actually selected. If it is selected, let's click next, which is configure instance details, right? So once you click the configure instance details on right bottom here, you go to the next page, which is configure instance. So that's where all the main features are for EC2 instance or a virtual machine that you're about to create now. So the first thing on configure instance page is number of instances, and that's 1. But you can at one go you can create 100 or 100,000 as well. So if I go for these many machines, obviously that's not going to be a very good idea. Then it simply defaults to how many? 100,000 machines, right? So now on this page I have this error. Okay, means you. So 2 are having errors on this one. And it says check your IAM permissions. List instance profiles. Okay, I get it, guys. Let me just this is not good. Okay, but anyway, I'll just quickly go for. No one else get it? Okay. This is quite disruptive. And normally I'm supposed to give it to the group, but that's not really working. John Kenneth, John Cedric, Dong, Amir. Oh, so you all have it. Okay, so whatever names are coming there, I'm just quickly doing that, which is kind of okay. Amit and I am full access. Amit, when you get I am full access, are you good or not? Who else? No one can. Oh, pretty much everyone. This did not come in the last class. I'm getting it too. So AWS is not really happy with this class. No, it's not the class. But AWS should let me just give it to the group and that's it. Oh. Really? Hamid, are you good after giving that permission? Should I give it to all? Or, oh, Hamid is good now. Okay. And John. So, which John is that? John K. Okay. Wow. Okay, who else? John Cedric. Okay, J. Cedric. Okay, maybe CED. Really? This? Okay. For last class I didn't have to do that. But I don't know what AWS Educate is having in their mind. I'll be. And Cedric is done. Jacob. Wait. Well, Dion Geo. I think it's Geo. Yeah, I gave it to a group, but it's not working. But let me just check one more time. If I go to the group and where you're already at it, and that's how it's supposed to work. Permissions, attach policy. I am full access. Okay. So guys, I've given it to the group, and hopefully there's a refresh here somewhere. Guys, can you refresh your page and then check it if you get the error still? Those who are still getting the error, if you can refresh your page. This is this one. Refresh your page, and you should be not getting this error, right? Those who were getting the error, can you double check that? Oh, Amir says solved. Okay. Anyone else who's getting the error, please refresh your browser page, and do you see? Okay, yeah, you have to go to that page then if you're refreshing it. Let me go back here. So if you refresh on this page like this, does it kick you out? What the? Okay. Oh yeah, I clicked on quick start and it's okay. Yes, it kicks you out. It takes you here. So once you refresh your page, then click the quick start, and then go down here to then go down here to free tier. Click that free tier. So once you refresh your page, you will be sent here, and Harshan says good, Brady says good, free tier, and then you go down 2019 base, you select. It's already selected on the choose instance type t2.micro, configure instance details, and now you should be okay. Okay, so finally the group thing is working. Except for Keith. Keith is not getting it. Keith, can you refresh your page again? Hey, I actually gave you already, right? Or not? Easy to pull up now. Wow. Okay. Okay, you should be okay now. Keith, so refresh again, and it's directly attached to your user. So, in cloud, and your internet speed, that's for everyone. Your internet speed might also not, get it implemented right away. So it could be that. Anyone else getting an error on this page? No? Yes? Maybe? Okay, not. So, well, I'm still going to explain a lot of things, so I'll be on this page. So if anyone's getting, let me know. The number of instances, maximum is 100,000, right? Okay, cool. So maximum is 100,000, and if you go more than 100,000, obviously it just goes back to the maximum of 100,000. Second thing is the auto scaling group that it is talking about, and we have already talked about this auto scaling group, that your virtual machine would be, suppose you have you're expecting a huge amount of traffic here, right? And that huge amount of traffic is going to be created. If this huge amount of traffic is coming to your EC2 instance, then that EC2 instance will lose CPU, and CPU will reach the 100% and it will freeze, right? What if you use this auto scaling group, and you put the CPU threshold as 75%, and then the virtual machine just simply gets created again if 75% is breached, and it gets created again, and the traffic is redirected or distributed among two, then among three. If all machines 75% is breached, CPU is breached, then it keeps on creating machines, and you can give a limit here as well, that how many you want. Suppose you say that, okay, I can only afford 20 machines, so if it goes up till 20, don't create the 21st machine, right? So auto scaling is really cool, and this is called scale out, and scale in is, you can configure scale in as well, which means that if the traffic is less than whatever threshold you put, suppose you put 40%, if it is less than that, and the CPU actually goes down lesser than 40%, it's going to start deleting the machine. If the second machine is also less than 40% CPU, it's gonna delete the machine. So when the machine is powered on, it's working. They are charging you the usage of underlying hardware, and this is amazing. You don't get to lose money as well. For the, suppose 200 machines got created because there were so many customers, but they are coming and going, and sometimes CPU is much lesser than 75%. So if it's less than a specific limit, they can delete, so you don't get charged. So it's a money saver option for all the clients, that you don't lose customers, as well as you don't lose a lot of money for what you're not using. Okay, so auto scaling is this, and then there is spot instances. Now, spot instances is a really interesting feature as well, and the example for that would be that if you are, suppose there's a company, and that company is, they have a software, right? And that the company does not have their own data center, first of all. So the company wants to run an analytical software, and that analytical software would need at least 20 virtual machines, 20 EC2 instances or VMs, right? And each, because that analytical software is so big, so you would need maybe 8-core processor, and maybe 128 GB RAM, and then 100 or 200 GB SSD, right? So that's RAM, and then that is 200 GB SSD, right? So that is 8 cores. So now this company wants to run this, and it expects some, the results of that analytical software. It will sell it to some other big companies, and they might earn, they might pay them hundreds of thousands of dollars, right, for that research. So the company goes to, suppose first Google Cloud, and Google Cloud says that, okay, for running these 20 machines on our underlying hardware, we're going to charge you $100,000 for that, right? So then they go for Microsoft Azure, and they say, okay, we're going to charge you $80,000 for that, right? And then they go to AWS. AWS says, okay, we're going to charge you $40,000 for that. So they get to save like $60,000 for running these machines. But what happens is that they are offering spot instances. What are those? And the concept behind that is that AWS has a huge amount of machines. So as we know, data centers are spread across the planet, right? Now each data center can have from 100,000 physical servers to 300,000 physical servers, right? So that's huge already. So it's not necessary that every physical server would be busy having some client virtual machines. It is possible that there are thousands of physical servers that are just sitting there doing nothing. So then they offer spot instances, which means that okay, we're going to charge you very less than the market rate for running on our hardware. But the catch is they can delete your machine. So suppose you bid for $40,000. Okay, they say that we're offering 40,000, or you said that, okay, you're willing to pay $40,000 for this, and they say, okay, our machines are doing nothing, so why not? But they say, if anyone went for something more than this, $41,000, another company comes with their own set of virtual machines and requirement. They need the hardware, so AWS can delete your virtual machines without any notice, and somebody outbidded you, and their machines will be powered on here, unless you pay a little more, or you simply just tell them, if anyone outbids me, then I am willing to pay that amount of money. Just don't delete my machines while it is working. So in that case, you keep your machines. Otherwise, they, without any notice, can, that's a contract, right? Without any notice, they can delete your machines if somebody outbids you. Suppose you're running some software that is not worth it. If you had to pay $80,000 or $60,000 for running it for 1 month, it's not worth it really. So then you go for this kind of deal where, okay, somebody outbids me a little slightly higher, I'll just pay that too. Don't worry, but don't delete my machines. So spot instances just saves your money, but at a catch, and the catch is that they can delete your machine anytime unless you tell them, okay, don't do that, I'll pay you more if somebody comes. So that's spot instances. And then we go ahead, and there is VPC, so network. So now that VPC here is virtual private cloud, and virtual private cloud is your local network where you can use, we're working inside a virtual private cloud right now. We can create virtual machines, we can create storage, we can create networking, we can create databases, and we can use any of those 200 plus services within our, so this is our playground, virtual private cloud, right? So that's VPC. So this is the default VPC. In our networking lab, we're going to actually do, we're going to create our own VPC as well in our networking lab, right? And we're going to create our own subnets there, right? We're going to configure our flow there, full traffic flow. Anyway, so the VPC, default VPC, yes, we're going to use the default VPC because this is our play area, or this is where we can test anything, we can create anything. So it's going to be default VPC. Then it says subnet. Now in the subnet, you can see, if you drop down here, you will see that there are 6 of them. So subnets, only 6 subnets. So these are called subnet, but they are actually, yep, availability zones. Anyone was saying anything? Okay, so they are availability zones. 6 availability zones, right? North Virginia has 6 availability zones, right? So so what we can do is, either we can select just for our own organization, we can select that, okay, I will create it on 1A availability zone, although you can create a 1B, C, D, F, anyone. It doesn't really matter, they're all the same. There's nothing special about 1A. Just for organization purpose, I'm going to select 1A. Sometimes, okay, there's one scenario. If you create a separate virtual disk, you can create an independent separate virtual disk as well, which is called EBS. If you create that EBS in a 1D availability zone, while the virtual machine that you want to attach this virtual disk to is in 1A availability zone, so you cannot, that virtual disk cannot see that virtual machine if the availability zones are different. So there are some services that can interact with each other only if they are on the same availability zones, and there are many services that interact with each other even if they're across availability zones. So I'm going to select for organization purpose only 1A, otherwise any other zone can be selected. They're all the same. So other than that, they're saying that they have 4091 IP addresses available within an availability zone, and that many virtual machines you can create per availability zone. Then there is auto assign public IP, and that is use subnetting, and that is enabled. Obviously, we need our virtual machine to have a public IP. So and that's how we can just connect to the virtual machine. So obviously we need to have a public IP. If we go down here, there is place. Okay, one more thing about the subnet, that within the VPC you can create maximum 200 subnets there, right? Within one VPC in a region, you can create 200 subnets. On the subnet, you can actually disable as well that I don't want any virtual machine to get public IP. I will only use private IPs in my subnet in the cloud. So you can do that too, but we for now need a public IP so we can connect from our laptops or desktops to that virtual machine. Other than that, there's a placement group here. So what is the concept of placement group? First of all, it says here, launch an instance in a placement group to benefit from greater redundancy or higher networking throughput. So you want greater availability of the virtual machine, or you want more speed. In that case, you use a placement group. So let's click that, add instance to placement group. Let's click this, add instance to placement group. And then there is add to existing placement group or add to a new placement group. We don't have any existing placement group, so we're going to go for add to a new. So we're trying to understand what is a placement group and what are the features inside the placement group, but otherwise we're not going to actually use the placement group. So if we click that, add to a new placement group, right? And then let's give it a name, your first name dash placement group, right? Your first name dash placement group. And once you have typed that, okay, there's another picture here. Nirvana shows a picture. I am row. Nirvana, we're up here in placement group. You need to click that. And you don't have permission to list instance profiles, contact your administrator, or check your IAM roles. So do not click the IAM role yet. Or if you automatically get that error, are you able to click on the placement group where we are right now? Or this error does not let you? Okay, so this yes sir means you're able to see that. Okay, so this means that you're able to click the add to new placement group. So let's carry on with this one first. Now once you have written your name in the placement group here, then there are three types you can see: cluster, spread, and partition. So the cluster, placement group, and spread, so we're going to just check it out. First of all, it says that the strategy of the placement group determines how the instances are placed on, that's the main thing, how the instances are placed on underlying hardware. So the way you spread your virtual machines across underlying hardware, then your virtual machines, suppose the underlying hardware goes down, suppose a rack goes down and it takes down with it 10 physical servers. A full rack takes down 10 physical servers with it, right? Maybe power disconnected. So in that case, if your machines were actually spread across multiple racks and spread across different servers, so at least all your virtual machines will not be down, right? So a cluster placement group clusters instances into a low latency group in a single availability zone. So within one availability zone, so what is a cluster? Cluster just means group of machines, right, into a low latency group. So low latency would be in an availability zone you may have 2 to 8 data centers, right? So the machines will be spread in such a way that they can update each other. They are near enough to update each other regularly, and they are far enough so if any hardware goes down, so they're not all on that particular hardware, they're spread across different data centers. So if any one data center has an outage, not all machines are affected by that. A partition placement group spreads instances across logical partitions, ensuring that the instances in one partition do not share underlying hardware with instances in other partitions. So now I'm going to click this learn more here, right? And learn more would just simply show you the placement groups related details. So EC2 instances placement group, and okay. I think it's, yeah. So when you launch a new EC2 instance, yeah, so it just tells you about the placement groups that we already talked about. So cluster placement group, you can see the diagram here as well. A cluster placement group is a logical grouping of instances within a single availability zone, and it can span paired VPCs in the same region, instances in the same cluster. So if I just tell you about the underlying hardware, a little more logic. So suppose there is HP rack, and or if I go for data centers related, okay, data centers, AWS data center. Okay, so these data centers, and we're talking about the underlying hardware, right? So what happens is that this is one rack, and maybe there are blade servers or rack servers inside one server, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. You can see pretty much 15, 16, or 20 servers are in just one rack. Second rack, 20 servers. Third rack, physical 20 servers. And that's all. You can have 100,000 or 300,000 physical servers when it's a big data center, right? So if you're putting underlying, if you're using a hardware that is, so if you put your machines, now you're putting a virtual machine here on top of this rack, so it will just simply spread your virtual machines across different racks. One virtual machine here, suppose you're deploying actually 20 virtual machines, so one virtual machine here on this rack, and its partner virtual machine is on that rack here, right? Its partner virtual machine. So if this rack goes down, its partner virtual machine is actually on this rack. So if we put all virtual machines on 20 physical servers, that can easily take 20 virtual machines or 30 or 50 or 80 virtual machines, but it simply spreads your virtual machines across different underlying hardware. So if one rack goes down or one full data center goes down, there's an outage there, so the machines were actually on, their copies were on another, and they were replicating from one data center to another data center as well. So it would, your work would simply switch over in the background to those virtual machines. So this is just the example of an underlying hardware that it will spread your machines across the underlying hardware. So you won't lose all your virtual machines in case of an outage, right? So well, that's just their giving an example of cluster, which is just a grouping of virtual machines, but across the availability zone, which is a big area, right? Multiple data centers. One data center is so huge, then the second, then the third. So your machines are really spread across those data centers within one availability zone. But if the full availability zone crashes, right? Full availability zone outage happens, then you're, well, waiting for AWS to get that availability zone up and running. If you had cross availability zone virtual machines, then you're good, and you would still keep on working. It's slightly higher charges, but you get to have your work going on. And then there is that partition placement groups, and that is, partition placement groups help reduce the likelihood of correlated hardware failures, right? For your application, when using partition placement groups, Amazon EC2 divides each group, so that's a group of machines here, into logical segments called partition. So this is one partition, this is second partition, which is just, it just groups the machines together. Hey, U3 will be on this hardware, U3 will be on the other set of rack servers, underlying rack servers, U3 will be on another set of rack servers, underlying rack servers, right? So Amazon EC2 ensures that each partition within a placement group has its own set of racks. So we just talked about racks. So each rack has its own network and power source. No two partitions within a placement group share the same racks. So this is going to be 3 virtual machines on one rack. Suppose that's a rack, and that's a second rack, and then a third rack. And these racks are not all connected to one power source. It has its own power and network switch, and it has its own switch and power. It has its own switch and power. So this means that 3 virtual machines here, if all 9 virtual machines were placed on one rack and maybe the switch goes down or power goes down, anyone, the whole rack is disconnected. All your 9 machines should not be disconnected as well. So the rest of the machines will still be, so you get just lesser downtime there. Some machines are down, but majority are up. So that's the main benefit of a partition placement. And then spread placement group is there. That a spread placement group is a group of instances that are each placed on a distinct racks, with each rack having its own network and power source. The following image shows 7 instances in a single availability zone that are placed into a spread placement group. So the 7 instances are placed on 7 different racks. So they just spread your machines across to have the least impact there if any of the underlying hardware fails. So that's spread placement group. So now this is how we can just check that you have huge amount of machines. You can go for partition placement or cluster placement. If you have fewer virtual machines, then you can go for spread placement group as well. So that is, if you go back now, so there is these 3 types from which you can just select, and what they do is just make your machines highly available. Right now, this is placement group. So let's take a screenshot here with your ID showing and North Virginia showing there, and your name written there, your first name, placement group, right? So the screenshot would be EC2 placement group. Screenshot would be EC2 placement group. Screenshot number 2, EC2 placement group. I'll just take a screenshot of my screen. You take a screenshot of your screen. EC2 placement group with this placement group name written there. Second screenshot. Oh, wow. Just put second screenshot. EC2 placement group. Okay, so right now, here is the placement group strategy. Well, we talked about that, and now what we need to do is to uncheck this. If you've taken the screenshot with your name and placement group written here with your ID on the top right, then uncheck this now, add instance to placement group, and we're not creating it, but we try to understand what it really shows. Can I see the rest of the page? Rest of the page, Dylan says it's this. Hopefully you're seeing it now. Okay, so placement group here. Okay, so here we talked about the placement group, and then there's a capacity reservation as well, and that's tells here capacity reservations reserve capacity for your EC2 instances in a specific availability zone. You can launch instances into a capacity reservation if they have matching attributes: instance type, platform, and availability zone, and available capacity. So in English, what it means is that suppose you have 3 virtual machines here, and those 3 virtual machines are very critical for your company, and you got what you got like 30 those machines are special, right? Suppose they're running a very critical software, and it requires 32 core CPU and 1 terabyte RAM, and that's all expensive stuff, and 100 terabyte SSD disk, right? SSDs. So, and a lot of bandwidth as well. So now your company says that they want to request Amazon that for next 2 years, make sure that they give you steadily this kind of hardware, right? They provide you all this hardware, because suppose you run some application that is so sensitive. If this hardware, somehow underlying hardware, is not giving this much power, this much 32 core CPU power, and it goes down at certain point to 16 core for some underlying hardware malfunction, so that application might stop working, and the company might bear a lot of losses because of just degradation of performance on their critical application. So capacity reservation just means that you reserve the hardware capacity, that hey AWS, you better be providing me for 3 years or 2 years this kind of hardware 24/7 365, right? If you are not able to comply with your SLA, then you will be reimbursing us that much money according to the contract. So capacity reservation just means that you reserve the capacity you expect it to be provided 24/7 365. If it is not provided, it's not about seconds now, it's not about like 99.9% or 99.99999%. It's about continuous supply of this much hardware power. If it's any less than that, then reimbursement. So that is called capacity reservation. So you reserve the hardware. AWS can also accept or deny it as well. So suppose you do put that request for those heavy machines, and AWS and then you say that, oh, I want it in North Virginia. So AWS checks that, oh, we already have so many big companies that have reserved the capacity, and we have to make sure that can we provide this 24/7 365 for next 2 years, this kind of capacity to these guys, and they can accept or they can deny as well. So it's all in the start. They deny it, that's it, go somewhere else. And they accept it, then they better keep their promise, and they better supply that kind of hardware. Okay, so that's called capacity reservation, and you reserve the capacity of the hardware. Then there is domain join directory. That is, if you deploy, there is a service called directory service, right? Now, if I go to another screen and go to services here and go to management and governance, actually it's in here, security and identity, and it is directory service, this one. So directory service inside security, identity, and compliance category. This directory service offers you obviously Active Directory plus some open source directory services as well. And the thing is that if you want to deploy Windows virtual machines that should be joining to for authorization and authentication to a Microsoft Active Directory, then you can deploy a directory service. But as soon as you deploy that directory service, you get charged $150 per month for 1 month of running of those. In the background, when you deploy directory service, in the background they deploy 2 EC2 instances, which we have no control over. They just deploy it in the background. So but they charge just $150 for those machines, and if you want to add an extra machine in the background for just running the directory service, then they charge you extra $50 for a smaller directory service. So the thing is that this is a separate service that gets charged separately, and that directory service we are talking about here, that if the Active Directory is created, then it will show up here as well, and obviously it will need an extra role there as well. IAM role, separate IAM role, which is the role that we created. In fact, if you just click here, you would see the EC2 full access role, and we talked about role. What is role anyway in IAM class? So this is how it's going to be. You need to have one role called EC2 full access that will give directory service full access to EC2 dashboard through this role, which is having all the permissions on EC2 instances. So we don't have a directory service here, and we don't need to join the Active Directory, so that we there is that okay, so we were talking about domain join directory. We don't have Active Directory right now, so we don't need to really select anything. And but virtual machines can be more secure if you have Active Directory if you want, but your company would have to pay for separately for having an Active Directory there. And then there's IAM role, that is if you want this virtual machine that you're about to create, it needs, remember that we had 4 specific scenarios for the role. So if you have any of those 4 specific scenarios, any other service wants to connect to this service, just like the example we were talking about, that the directory service is a totally separate service. EC2 dashboard, EC2 is a separate service. If they both want to work together, then you need a role for that. So for now, we don't need the role. And CPU options, then there is specify CPU options, core count and threads per core can be modified after launch. So normally what happens is that do you want, suppose we select that, do you want to increase any of those options? Now you don't see more than 1 core, because this machine we've selected is the, it's the least amount of hardware it contains, and hence it does not actually have that kind of power. So if we had selected some bigger machine with a lot of cores, then we could have selected here that how many cores we really need for this virtual machine. Okay, so well, that poor machine that we selected is the only one that we can select in a free tier, and that is only 1 core, 1 thread. So I'm just gonna unselect that. The purpose of this option was to just be able to select the core here, how many cores, processor cores you need. Okay, so other than that, there is shutdown behavior here. If you click stop, then you can shut down the machine. But if you click terminate, normally terminate means delete here. So if you click stop, yes, it should shut down. Not if you click terminate, that already is defined out there as that it will delete the machine. So no need to change that. And stop hibernate behavior. Do you want this machine to hibernate, which means that you're working on the machine and you have opened a lot of windows, a lot of configuration is going on, and you need to go now. So you can hibernate the machine, so it will really freeze your current work environment. All the windows that are open will stay open. It will be in a frozen state when you come back and open the machine, so all the windows will be still there in that position. So it simply freezes. So hibernate, you would all know the options there. Suspending a machine is the same thing, that you have whatever work you have opened, it just freezes that, and the work stays intact. Enable termination protection. So this is very useful for critical machines, that nobody should be able to accidentally delete the machines, right? And then comes the monitoring. So enable CloudWatch detailed monitoring, and that would be, it's gonna have additional charges. What is it? CloudWatch is a service. It's a one-stop monitoring service. You can create alarms, you can create events there, you can create alerts here, you can create monitoring dashboards there, and metrics there as well. So all that you can do with CloudWatch. It's a one-stop monitoring service in AWS, And if you enable that, suppose it's a very critical machine that you're about to create, so yes, the boss says, okay, whatever charges, just enable cloud watch. We need to have a full watch of this critical virtual machine. And then there is tenancy here. Tenancy is on top of what kind of underlying hardware that you want to put the machine. So there is that suppose you go for shared hardware or dedicated hardware. So if there's an underlying physical server here, so phi server, right? Phi server. So in that case, your virtual machine is here, and you have two virtual machines. Then there is another subscription. Another company has their two virtual machines, and another company, they're also sharing the same hardware, and they have their own virtual machines here as well, right? And yet another company. So normally you share the underlying hardware with other subscriptions, AWS subscriptions. But if you go for dedicated instances, then these all virtual machines, only your virtual machines can be there on their dedicated hardware, or one virtual machine with one application, and that application needs to detect how many processor sockets are there. So VMware software called vCenter, it is licensed per socket, right? So you have a CPU, it has to detect that for it to run, and then it will let you use the software, right? So that is how you can just go for tenancy there. Additional charges will apply for dedicated tenancy. Obviously, if you go for dedicated, you need to pay more. It's better performance, but sometimes it's the compliance as well, that the application must be having its own dedicated hardware. And then there is elastic graphics, which is add graphics acceleration. And again, that would be additional charges. Suppose you're actually going for Bitcoin mining or blockchain related applications development you're doing there, right? So in that case, you can just click that button, and they would provide you just more GPUs there. And obviously, they will then charge you for that too. If you go for credit specification here, so selecting unlimited for the credit specification allows applications to burst beyond the baseline for as long as needed at any time. If the average CPU utilization of the instance is at or below the baseline, the hourly instance price automatically covers all usage. Otherwise, all usage above baseline is billed. So if you select this option, and we know that we have one vCPU and 1 GB RAM only, right? But so many users connect there that it now needs actually 2 vCPUs and 4 GB RAM. So if you select this option unlimited, so they're going to charge you a little more, but per hour, but whatever extra CPU and RAM you needed at the time will be provided, and they're not going to just limit you on that hey, there are so many other users coming and you just have one vCPU and one RAM. So if more users comes, then the processor will hit 100% and your machine will be frozen. But if you check this option, then your machine will never be frozen. Whatever number of users are still coming, it will simply accommodate those, and AWS will just provide you more CPU and RAM as much as you want if you select this option, but some additional charges overall will apply. At least your users, so some maybe for longer time, expected users were coming in only at a few hours in a week. That huge amount of users came, and if you have this option, at least those users will not be disconnected. And then there is Ethernet. So you want extra network card connected there, then you can just add another network card as well, right? And other than that, there is advanced details here, which is just extra data that you want to put there, or extra commands that you want to put there. Maybe you're putting a package there, Maybe you're just doing some maintenance related commands there, or automatically uh, doing some more configuration for server hardening. So in that case, you can just fill out this area as well. So overall, this is the configure instance area, and so this is something that you should know, that all those features are there, and do you really need those features? And some features, well, quite a few critical features have extra charges there attached to it. So we discussed about the configure instance page. Now let's go to add storage, which is the next one. And on this page we just changed this, that it is just in availability zone 1A. Other than that, nothing else changed. It's just default options. So let's go to add storage on the bottom right. And on add storage, you can see that there is one root disk that has been provided to the Windows virtual machine, and that is 30 GB. So with free tier eligible customers can get up to 30 GB of EBS, elastic block storage, or a virtual disk. And general purpose SSD you want, or magnetic storage you want, it's up to you. And so first of all, the main disk, the first disk is the root disk, and it's the path is also showing like this, like a Linux machine. Then the first disk is automatically taken a snapshot of as well. So snapshot of a disk is taken automatically. Then there is size, and that is 30 GB, right? So that's maximum. And then comes the volume type as well. There is general purpose SSD volumes can burst to 3000 IOPS, input output data per second. And deliver a consistent baseline of 3 IOPS per GB. Provisioned IOPS, so these are the types. Well, first is the general purpose, that can go up to 3000 IOPS. So IOPS is input output data per second, or reads and writes. If you're saving a file or creating a file, it's a write, you're writing on the disk. If you're retrieving some information as a search, you're searching and some information was retrieved, so that is read. So and you just turn on some software, double click some software, powers on. So there's a general purpose written here, but if you drop down, there's a general purpose SSD GP3, GP2 is the default, and then GP3 would be a bit faster than GP2, obviously, the SSD. And provisioned IOPS, that IO1 would be much more faster for bigger applications, and provisioned IOPS SSD IO2 would be a lot more faster. Suppose you have databases that have heavy use going on, so in that case you can use the disk as well. And then there's the fastest of all disks, all above, faster than that is the magnetic disk, right? So that is like a super disk of all times, and that would be super duper fast. Not okay. Yes, it's not. So yeah, I'm just kidding. So magnetic disk would be used for maybe you want to put hardware, backup there, or you want to put there some archival software. So in that case, you can use magnetic disk as well. So this is the cheapest and slowest as well. And yeah, you want to just put some some files there that are rarely used, or just keep it for backups, right? So GP2, when you have selected here, it says 100 IOPS up to 3000 IOPS. So AWS really counts your ins and outs, how many time you read the data and how many time did you write the data. So then GP3, suppose we select GP3, so it goes from 3,000 and up. And throughput is also there. Throughput that the volume can support is specified for streaming optimized volumes, SD1 and SE1. Learn more about EBS volume types. And IOPS is the required number of IO operations, input output operations per second, that the volume can support. For provisioned IOPS SSD volumes, You can provision up to 50 IOPS per GB for IO1 and up to 500 IOPS per GB for IO2. For general purpose SSD volumes, baseline performance is 3 IOPS per GB with a minimum of 100 IOPS and maximum of 16,000 IOPS. So yeah, whichever application you put there, and suppose you have 2,000 users there, one database there, and your usage is less for some companies, and for other companies usage is too much. They're retrieving all the time, they're writing all the time. So it depends on the type of company and how much they retrieve. Then you can just choose whichever you want and how fast they need that. So that all translates into the cash, right, into the company then is charged for that. So it's up to you. You need to be wise that which one is suitable for you. If I go for IOPS IO1, so 1500 IOPS it starts from, and then IO2 actually goes from 15,000 IOPS. So that's really for big databases, big applications there. And then magnetic is, as I said, super duper slow disk. Okay, so anyway, everything is not applicable there. So I go back up there to GP2 here. 100 out of 3000 IOPS, throughput is not applicable. I'll still go for this EBS volume types here, although we're going to separately touch that. So Amazon EBS provides the following volume types which differ in performance, characteristic, and price, so that you can tailor your storage performance and cost to the needs of your applications. So there's a SSD, there's HDD, there's previous generation. So SSD optimized for transactional workloads, and HDD optimized for large streaming workloads where the dominant performance attribute is throughput. And then there is that previous generation hard disk drives that can be used for workloads with small data sets where data is accessed infrequently and performance is not a primary importance. So this whole page is about provisioned IOPS, general purpose SSD, and provisioned IOPS SSD. So they give you a table as well with what kind of availability is there. 99.8% actually durability. They're talking about durability. Durability is that your software, your data will be intact even if there's a disaster. So 99.8% durability they're offering. Normally you would see 99 point and then 11 nines. That's a lot of nines there that they offer for durability. Now they're just talking about durability, then use cases. Where do you use GP3, GP2? You use it for low latency interactive apps, development and test environments, GP2, GP3. IO2 Block Express, it's 99.999% durability. So workloads that require sub-millisecond latency, really fast workload, and sustained IOPS performance or more than 64,000 IOPS or 1,000 megabytes per second of throughput. So that's heavy usage. You go for IO2 disk there, and it's and then IO1 here, workloads that require sustained IOPS performance or more than 16,000 IO-intensive database workloads. So it gives you the whole table there, and hard disk drives durability again. It just gives you some more information. So I'll just put that there as well. The EBS types, EBS volume types. Types. O and K. So here, that's it. Yeah. We see here then the oh, okay. So guys, there's a break and no break, and wow, I think we need to put it to a serious sport now. I think there's a nature break or bio break, we can say. Bio break, right? So we can take a 10-minute bio break because that's, I think we can work this out next week. Use a oh, 2 minutes is okay. Okay, cool. Wow. So guys, work this out next week. Work out next week. Oh, the break thing. Okay, guys, 10-minute break because I think some people need to go, right? So 10-minute break or 20-minute, up to you. So let me know. Otherwise, you wanna finish early, so 10-minute break and we come back. Okay, 10. Anyone wants to say something? 10. Okay, 10 minutes. Let's go. So 8:05, 8:15, we come back. Button. Okay, so we were talking about so we were talking about that storage, and there's that delete on termination. So what is this option of delete on termination? So here we have so this means that if your virtual machine is going to be deleted, obviously this is a supposed virtual machine and there's a virtual disk here as well, right? So the disk, if you don't want the disks to be removed, then you can uncheck this option. So if this option is checked, as soon as the virtual machine is deleted, the virtual disk will be, along with it, will be deleted. If this option is unchecked, then the virtual machine will be deleted, but the disk will not be deleted, and obviously you will be charged for saving the disk there if you uncheck this option. But it's better to keep it checked, so at least we will be able to have the disk also deleted with it, right? And other than that is encrypted. So you want this disk to be encrypted, then it can be encrypted, and the encryption decryption keys will be stored in that other service called KMS, or key management services, in that other separate service. This means that it's going to charge you separately for keeping your key encryption decryption keys in the KMS provided by AWS. So if you want so by default it is not encrypted, but you can encrypt if you want, so it's an option. So we're going to go ahead and try to yeah, so guys, take a screenshot of this screen, EC2 storage. So take a screenshot number 3 of this screen, EC2 storage. Screenshot number 3 of this screen, EC2 storage. So I'll take a screenshot now, and your screenshot should have your college ID showing there. Screenshot number 3, EC2 storage. EC2 storage. And I'll put it quickly here. EC2 storage. Screenshot 3. Alright, so let's go ahead and if you have taken the screenshot number 3, Then let's click the add tags. So Amir says, I wanted to make sure that if we change anything on step 3, configure instance, previous. So yeah, we changed just as 1A, that's all, on configured instance, nothing else. Right, alright, welcome. Okay, so let's click the add tags. So on the tags, we can just click the add tag here. Let's click that add tag button here, and there you can just go for again department, and then that is marketing, right? So and so this is just to let you know that how to use the tags. Let's click configure security group. Let's click the configure security group. Once we click that, so this is it works like a firewall. A security group is a set of firewall rules that control the traffic for your instance. On this page, you can add rules to allow specific traffic to reach your instance. For example, if you want to set up a web server and allow internet traffic to reach your instance, add rules that allow unrestricted access to the HTTPS port. So basically what it does is, Dylan, nothing on tags page. If you missed it, it's okay. We didn't need a screenshot, although we put department and marketing there. If you didn't put it, it doesn't matter. It's okay. So how it works is security group that not only that you can allow block the type of traffic, or by putting port number there for the traffic, and putting protocol name. So not only that you can allow block traffic, you can also control from where, to and from. So it's allow block type of traffic, and also to from. So you can control all this, right? So what is coming to our virtual machine? So what is coming, what kind of protocol is being used? So for now we're allowing RDP traffic, but you can go for port 80 HTTP traffic, 443 for SSL traffic, HTTPS traffic, right? 1433 for database traffic, or 389 for LDP traffic, or 53 for DNS traffic, right? So all that, and then there's a long list of other ports as well, FTP and others. So all this type of traffic you can allow block, and so we've added RDP and 3389 traffic, remote desktop protocol. So this means that, well, pretty much just like firewall, everything else is blocked other than what is added here. And so it's a firewall that you attach to a virtual machine or EC2 instance. Other than that, there is custom written there. So I did talk about the the type of traffic, but then you can just drop down here as well and click it. So you would see all type of traffic, all traffic, SSH, SMTP, port 25, right? POP3, 110, port IMAP, LDAP, HTTPS, SMB, server message block, Windows file sharing, NFS, Linux file sharing. So you can see pretty much everything is, all kind of protocols are there, and whatever is not there, then you can go for if you go further up, all TCP or a custom TCP rule. So custom, then you can add FTP, suppose it's not there, or any other rule that is not mentioned here. If you know the port of that, just you go for custom TCP rule and then put the port for that particular application and protocol. So this is RDP we're allowing because we need to connect. It's a Windows machine, we need to remotely connect from RDP. And second thing is, then there is custom, and then there's a anywhere, and there's my IP. So my IP, you would know already that just like we used to put in the browser, what is my IP, right? So that would just give you the IP or public IP of your DSL, right? So if I click that my IP, so you would see that it just grabs my temporary public IP that is now given to my DSL router. So when you select your my IP, it is just giving you your DSL router's IP, right? So other than that, there is anywhere, which is 000/0, and then there is that IPv6 version of that. So that's anywhere, and then there's a custom IP, which just means that hey, you want to put your own IP range. That would be your public IP of, suppose, your branch or wherever. So you want to put it yourself. So we can just keep it to anywhere. As soon as you put anywhere, so they say here, rules with source of this 000/0 allow all IP addresses to access your instance. We recommend setting security group rules to allow access from known IP addresses only, right? So this is just what we need to know. Description, you can give description, but where the traffic is coming from, that you can control. Inbound traffic, and what kind of traffic is coming here, that you can control. So also let's go above here and launch wizard 4 dash your first name. Let's type that here. Launch wizard 4 or 5 or 10 or 20, doesn't matter, whatever number is there. Ooh. Eric shows you will not be able to connect to this instance as the AMI requires ports 22 to be open. Oh, Eric, did you choose Linux machine or Windows? Well, if you chose Linux, because port 22 is for Linux. Windows? Hey, where did this error come? I mean, what were you doing? It's just when you came to that page, you see this, or you can share a screenshot or something? So it's launch wizard 4, just put your name there, and obviously it's going to be a screenshot number 4 here. Security group, EC2 security group. Yeah, on this page I have 2 warnings. Well, second, if it's port 22, it's a Linux machine, and RDP 3389 is for Windows. So okay, so here, like, you can just quickly start, go back there and just click the Windows, which is 7th, and then pretty much come here. We didn't change much. Okay, so here, launch wizard 4 and your first name, just take a screenshot number 4, and screenshot number 4 is EC2 security group. Screenshot number 4, EC2 security group. So I'll just quickly put it there, take a sample screenshot, EC2 security group. Screenshot for EC2 security group. And COMP3108 screenshot for EC2 security group. Alright, so let's click review and launch. Review and launch. Once we click review and launch, so this is the review page, and it says here the same thing, that you have your instances may be accessible from any IP address. We recommend that you update your security group rules to allow access from known IP. Okay. Another one is you can also open additional ports in your security group to facilitate access to the application or service you're running, e.g. HTTP 80. Yeah, they're just saying that you can just allow some more type of traffic as well. Okay, other than that, it's just the review of what we have already configured. So nothing here, but be careful at next steps. So we're gonna click that launch button now. Let's click that launch button. So once you click the launch button, it's gonna ask for a key pair, which is a very good security measure by only AWS, because Azure does not ask that, and AWS and Google Cloud also does not ask that, and Oracle Cloud is, well, they're just starting, so not much there. And there is a key pair consists of a public key that AWS stores and a private key that you store. So some one portion of the same code, suppose there's a security code there that has been half of that has been given to the public key, which is stored by AWS, and half of that code is in a private key that is given to you. Now if you need the local administrator password for this Windows machine, then you need to provide this public key at that time. So we need to secure this public key at a very at a place inside our machine, in a place where we know that where we put it. Suppose you lose it, this file, you're not able to find later, so you won't be able to get the password for this virtual machine's local administrator user account, right? So now what we're going to do is we can actually select here. Here's written choose an existing key pair. I'm just going to go for create a new key pair, right? One key, it's a pair, and private keys with us, which are about to download now, and public keys with the AWS. So these two keys have to be, the private key has to be made available if you want the password of the administrator. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a key pair name, so that's KP dash 16Feb2021 dash your first name, right? So this is the name of your key pair, and then before we click the download button, let's take a screenshot, and screenshot name is EC2 key pair. Screenshot number 5, EC2 key pair. Screenshot number 5, EC2 key pair. So I'll take a sample screenshot here. Do not lose this page, do not click cancel. This is an important page. How to get to create key. Well, you just click the launch button and it takes you to this key. And how to create a key, just click that. There's a drop down here, and create a new key pair. Just type here this. Alright, cool. Okay, so it's what was it? Yeah, EC2 key pair. So screenshot number 5, EC2 key pair. I'll just go to the other screen. EC2. Oh, screenshot 5, EC2 key pair. And COMP3108. Okay, so I'll just go back here. So guys, be careful here. You have to download the private key file .pem file before you can continue. Store it in a secure and accessible location. Now guys, download key pair, when we click that, the instruction is only save it inside the downloads folder in your machine. Only save it inside the downloads folder of your machine. Do not save it anywhere else. Okay, that's not a big deal. The thing is, very few students I've seen that when they download it, then they cannot find it. It's in their machine, but they're unable to find it. So that's just to avoid that kind of situation. So click the download key pair now. It's gonna pop up here. Where do you want to download? Make sure on the left side, downloads folder is selected. So it's not compulsory to download there. It's just for those if you're having trouble then finding in your machine where did I save it. So for that kind of very strange situation. So just make sure download is selected there and click save. Download is selected there on the left side, save. Okay, once you downloaded it, it's in the downloads folder, right? And then you can go for launch instances. Go ahead and click launch instances. A cloud storage would be safe for that. Yes, cloud storage would be safe for that, exactly. To keep now this same key pair, suppose you're about to create 500 more virtual machines, you can use the same key pair for all 500 virtual machines as well, as long as when you create a machine, you go for existing key pair and then just give a name of this key pair. So then it will only let you know the administrator password when you provide this key pair. So one key pair can be used for hundreds or thousands of machines as well. Okay guys, so I'm gonna click launch instances now. Okay, there's a screenshot here. Cluster placement groups are not supported. Oh, Gideon, you have to go back and click no to placement groups where we're not supposed to select it. So back to review screen until you reach the configure details. Okay. Man, I'm out of that wizard, so oh no, I can still cancel out from here. Thank God I didn't click the launch. I was just slowing down because of this, if any complaints are there. There's also one more screenshot here by Harshan. Launch wizard 4 already exists. Harshan, you did not put, after 4 you did not put your name there. So, well, we had a screenshot for that, right? So this means you're already losing marks for not putting that name there. It's not launch wizard 4, it's dash your name. So go back there, put an extra name there. So you didn't have a screenshot. Well, the screenshot is wrong. Okay. I'm gonna click previous. Gideon, are you there? So previous, and then previously, and then previously, which is not a word in the dictionary, I know that. And then Gideon, you have to go for this placement group. So yours is selected like this, right? So uncheck it. We all unchecked it, right? Uncheck it. And then if you have unchecked it, now go add storage and add tags and security group. Here, Harshan, you have to put dash your first name. So if you took a screenshot without this, that is wrong. So then go for review and launch. Okay, and launch, and whatever new key pair you gave, just select the new key pair and then click, then type this name here, key pair, and then click download key pair and download it only in the downloads folder, otherwise you won't be able to find it, or anyone who is, hopefully you're all able to do that. Okay, I already have done that. Okay, I'll go for one more. So don't do that. If you see existing, then just type 1 there, just to download another one. Otherwise, that one was also okay. I'm making sure that I'm downloading it in the downloads folder on the left side and save. And then lunch instances. It's not lunch, it's dinner time actually. Launch instances. Let's go for launch. And this time I launched. We have a go. So guys, if you're on this screen, you need to click on the ID here. If you're on this screen, you need to click the ID, this one. So it will take you back to the dashboard where the virtual machine is now running, right? So let's click on this. If you've clicked the launch, then let's click this and click the ID. Now I can see that the machine is running, but status check is initializing. It's still saying there initializing on the right side, but on the left side it says instance state. when we do create virtual machine, and if you see that running, we need to give it a name here on this column, right? Under name column, we need to give a name. How do we give a name to that? You can just hover your mouse over there until you see this arrow sign, right? And just click on top of that arrow sign and just give it a name. So your first name dash VM, your first name dash VM, and click save. Your first name dash VM and click save. Hopefully you have done it. Once you have done it, screenshot number 6 is EC2 created, EC2 instance created. Once it is done, so once it is done, it is EC2 instance created. Screenshot number 6, EC2 instance created. Screenshot number 6, EC2 instance created. I'll take a screenshot now. Sample screenshot. EC2 instance. My status check is passed. Okay, that's good. Jacob says, sir, I somehow see everyone's instances. Whoa, really? Well, actually, it's not somehow. We're supposed to see everyone's instances right now. If I click refresh here, I will be able to see everyone's instances. It's just that you're logged in from your accounts, and there's a auditing going on. So yeah, my suggestion would be that just keep to your machines, and it's anything you do can and will be used against you in the court of law. Oh, just kidding. Okay, I see too much, those movies. So yeah, anything done in can be caused with the laws of marks as well. Okay, so anyway, hey, how come you're seeing that? I'm not seeing that. It's not fair. Okay, I'll just refresh the whole screen. Guys, just take a screenshot of your virtual machine, right? Wow, amazing. Anyway, so, oh yeah, I need to click instances, seriously. I need to click instances. You don't know which one is yours? Oh, guys, I asked you to give your name there. Okay, now go back to your previous... No, you can't. You kidding me? So some of you did not give the name there, right? So this is really unique. I'm scratching my head now. Seriously, before that we all gave a name, right? So scroll to the right. There are names there. There you go. Woohoo. So scroll to the right, and there's ID, right, and writer. Exactly, key name. There you go. And security group name. There you go. Oh, here I also can see that who did not give security group names. Okay. So, Dong saved the day. With the key, we have given a name. Alright, guys. So please name your machines, and hopefully you have taken a screenshot already. In fact, yeah, I was supposed to take a screenshot now. Quickly, or did I already took it? So let me just check it out. Oh man, it's gonna take time to appear here. I think I took a screenshot of my... Yeah, I did. So don't worry if it's not if it's showing other machines as well. It's okay, as long as your named machine is there. That's what we want, right? So what was it? Screenshot 6. Yeah, 6. And EC2 instance created. Screenshot 6. And I'll go for COMP3108 EC2 instance created, screenshot 6. Okay, now let's go ahead and we need to go for, yeah. So guys, I'll refresh that. Hopefully everyone has given the name. Seriously? Still 4 machines are nameless. Why? Guys, if your machine is not having a name, you lose marks for that, right? Go scroll to the right side and check your name from here and then go back. So just click like this on your name and then see, right? Oh, well, you know what? We can see who did not put the name actually. So Amir did not put the name, which is me. Really? Serious? Okay, I should not cut my marks, so I'm just gonna do that. Hey, didn't I put that name? Okay, anyway, let's go ahead guys, and now we're going to simply connect to it, but the way to connect is also John K did not put the name, or maybe it's just gonna appear later, I don't know. Okay, so let's go for the next steps guys, and that is I'm gonna click my named machine, which is really strange. I gave the name, I think I did not save it. Yeah, now I remember, I did not save it. So I'll just simply go there and your first name dash VM. Okay, save. And so you click your machine name and drag this bar up, right? This one. Drag this up. And you can see details, security, networking, storage, status checks, monitoring, tags. So whatever we were configuring during the machine creation, EC2 instance creation phase, all or the wizard, all those options are here as well with all the details, right? So what we can do is go ahead and select your machine. Go ahead and select your machine, and then you see on top of that there is instance state there. There's stop instance. There is start instance. It is already started, so that's why it's grayed out. Reboot instance, hibernate instance, and terminate. Terminate means delete. So other than that, there are actions here: connect, view details, manage instance state. There is instance settings. When you select your instance and then click instance settings, so attached to an auto scaling group, you can just attach this instance to an auto scaling group, or instance type, nitro enclaves for security, termination protection, shutdown behavior, credit specification, edit user data, manage tags. So that's all in instance details. If you go for networking, so you can attach a network interface, detach a network interface as well, change source destination check. So where is the traffic coming from? Where is it going? Inbound, outbound, right? And disassociate elastic IP address. You want to remove the IP address that you attached, public IP or manage IP addresses here. That is in networking. Then comes the security portion here, and that's where you can change the security group, where you define that it's RDP traffic only that is allowed, inbound traffic that is allowed, as well as that it's coming from 000/0. So you can just change that from here. Get Windows password. You still want to get this password now. This way you have to make sure that that key pair that you downloaded has to be made available, although we're going to be connecting real soon now. And then modify IAM role if you want to put some role there. Then there is image and templates. So that is create an image out of this machine. Suppose you installed MS Office in this machine, Adobe Acrobat, WinZip, and all those company software. Then you did some security hardening as well, installed some IPS, IDS, intrusion prevention system, intrusion detection systems, right? So then you want to create an image out of that and then clones out of that image, so you can do that too. Create template from instance. That is also a template from which you can create as many clones and launch more like this. So you want to just create clones of this machine, whatever its configured is, there will be an exec copy of that, so you can do that too. And then there is monitor and troubleshoot. That is get system log, get instance screenshot, manage detailed monitoring, and so it's all in the CloudWatch. So that is all there is in actions. So if you click actions, we can take a screenshot of that actions here, screenshot number 7. So the screenshot would be that all extra EC2 extra features. So select your screenshot virtual machine, go to actions, and just simply drop down, and whatever is showing there. So take a screenshot number 7, EC2 features, EC2 extra features or EC2 features. You can just take that. So take screenshot number 7, EC2 features, screenshot number 7, where action is tab is drop down is open, EC2 features or EC2 extra features. I'm going to take a screenshot now for this screen with my machine name, my ID showing on the top. And that would be our screenshot 7. EC2 instance extra features or features, whichever, both are okay.
Excuse me, how did you do that?
How? So are you on the screen? Hopefully. And if you're on the screen, just select the VM and click the actions. That's all. Drop down. Take a screenshot of this for your machine. Okay. I'll just put that COMP3108 screenshot 7. EC2 instance extra features or features to the matter. Okay, so now we understand that when we select the machine, there are features up there, there are features down here as well. Now what we can do is we can connect to it, right? So let's click that, let's keep it selected, your machine, let's keep it selected, and there's a connect button here, right? So let's keep it selected and click the connect button. Hopefully everyone's able to understand this. So once we click the connect button, right, so we come to this page, connect to instance, right? Connect to your instance. This, the ID is there. Oh, you got an error. Failed to describe instance information. User Minsiok is not authorized to perform. Oh, you all get the error. No kidding. What? Why? Where? When? Who? Which? AWS is not performing well today. Okay, so Gideon has actually shared it as well. So failed to describe instance. This Gideon is not authorized to perform describe instance information on resource. Why? Like, I have to say this. Tell me why. Okay, so IAM. No, it's not IAM related now. So really AWS. You know the other section? We did the exact same things. Exact same things. Serious. Can you connect my RDP? Yeah. Hamid, we can connect with RDP, but we don't have the password. Although there is another way to get that too. So that's a good idea. Okay, guys. Plan B, because you are not able to see the screen, right? So I'm going to cancel out from here. Was anyone? And actually no one was able to see that, right? So guys, cancel. Well, obviously you're on the still on this page, right? Oh, actually, guys, go back again. You know what? Even though this error is there, go there again. You see that I don't have this error, right? But you have. ignore this error. Can you do what I am about to do now? Go ahead and click the RDP client. Are you able to click RDP client even though the error is there? Yes, sir. Okay, got it. I think everyone is able to click RDP client. It's not stopping you from doing this. Okay, cool. If you're able to click RDP client on that error page, then please continue and ignore that error. So what do we need to do? See this. Public DNS, this is the way we can connect. This is the public DNS, or the name with which we can connect. Second thing is the local administrator for any Windows is obviously the administrator account, but there is this get password. This is the puzzle that we need to solve here, right? I hope everyone is seeing get password written there. So let's click get password. Click here, everyone. Once you click get password, you should see this screen now, which everyone is seeing. Okay, so in that case, you know what to do here. To decrypt the password, you will need your key pair for this instance. Remember that you downloaded a private key in your downloads folder. You need that key now. How do you get to that key? You click the browse button, you go to the downloads folder, find your key, double click it, and then you can just press this button, decrypt password. So all you need to do is click browse, go to the downloads folder or wherever else you downloaded that key, just find that key, double click it, and then click the decrypt password. That's all you need to do. I'm going to click browse now. So is the next screen show you connected to the instance? Next screen? Well, did you get this first? I mean, oh, next screenshot. Yeah, first do what I'm doing here. Let's click the browse button, and I'm gonna go to my downloads folder, and there's that key. There's that key. So double click that key. So it's just ending with .pem. If you don't see the .pem, it's okay, it doesn't matter. Yes, Gideon, you're on the right. Oh, you already got it. Way to go. Hey man, hey guys. So Gideon is our superhero. So you're all just a bit slower than Gideon. So okay, so guys, see this? I just grabbed it and that's it. Go ahead and decrypt it. Right? Simple. I hope nobody's stuck here, because that's pretty straightforward. And once I do that, I cannot come back. Actually, I can. So decrypt password, guys. Once you get this password, this is your screenshot number 8. Password EC2 instance password decrypted. If you see this password, actually your password, take a screenshot number 8. EC2 instance password decrypted. Screenshot number 8. EC2 instance password decrypted. Right? So I'm going to take a sample screenshot number 8. EC2 instance password decrypted. Screenshot 8. EC2 instance password decrypted. Okay. COMP3108 screenshot 8. EC2 instance password decrypted. Okay. So, that's Paul. It's a bad idea indeed. We're about to delete this machine after 10th screenshot. This machine will be gone. So, but yes, in a production environment, anywhere else where you keep using this machine, yes, it's a bad idea, definitely. And for now, the screenshots are with you. But yeah, my password is exposed. But we're about to delete this machine anyway. And definitely we don't take screenshots of passwords, you're right. I got the remote desktop connection working. Oh, there you go. Perfect. So when we connect there, there's another screenshot. So yeah, for just this that you were able to decrypt, so you all were able to decrypt, so I asked for a screenshot. Otherwise, definitely in production we don't do that. Okay guys, so here now Paul is already connected. Now let's go for download remote desktop file. Let's click download remote desktop file. Although you can just launch remote desktop and just copy this there and connect. So I'm going to click download remote desktop file, this one. Once you click that, it simply asks that, hey, where you want this your first name vm.rdp file. Okay, Ahmed is already there. Okay, so people are reaching moon and we are on tricycles. Okay, I have downloaded that download remote desktop file. I'm going to click on top of this file that I downloaded because it's going to launch our remote desktop application. So the file that you downloaded, double click it, right? I click it and it opens like this. What I need to do is click the connect button, right? Go ahead and click the connect button. I'm just going slow because if somebody misses it, then I have to come back, right? So I'm just going slow. Otherwise, yeah. Okay, I need to copy this password now. So I'm going to click on top of this button here so I can get the password. Copy. See this? Password copied. I need that screen back. Where's that screen? See this? This is where the screen is. Remote desktop, right? And right click and paste. Okay. So just put the password there, press OK, and connect. You're done, right? So just go ahead and connect. I'm gonna press O and K, right? And then press yes for the self-signed certificate. And we're connecting. So guys, your next screenshot is coming now. Well, the way you're gonna take the screenshot is you got a blue bar up there, right? You need to click the restore down up these boxes here. You need to click this, right? So it's a box now. So, well, you can just take it as a box, and your name is showing there while your college ID is showing there as well. So that's your screenshot number 9. Right. Okay, so here, just restore down, right? This box, and take a screenshot where college ID is showing, and EC2 connected to EC2 instance. Connected to EC2 instance is the title of the screenshot. Connected to EC2 instance. So take a screenshot with the restore down and the college ID connected to EC2 instance, right? Okay, where is it? Yeah. So go for screenshot 9 connected to EC2 instance. And 08 screenshot 9 connected to EC2 instance. Should we save the password or it's accessible for next time connection? No, so we're gonna actually delete the machine. So next time when we create the machine, it will be different password. So yeah, we don't need to save the password. But if this machine was to stay till next time, yeah, we would have. But we're gonna delete it today. Okay, guys. So if you are connected to this machine here, right? You're good. We also need to do one more. So yeah, this is just how to connect to a machine. What are the features that were involved? in creating a full virtual machine, high availability, disaster recovery, security, all the services there. Now, what we need to also do is how to terminate this machine, because next labs will be, we're going to be going for load balancing lab if AWS Educate allows us, and auto scaling lab. So that's where we're going to use, then we're going to create machines faster. We're not going to obviously discuss all this, and we will then okay, so this was just detailed about information about how to go for the virtual machine creation. Now if I go back here, now leave this machine, right? So go back to the dashboard, that's where we were, and we need to actually go back to the dashboard. So I'm just gonna click cancel here, right? I'm gonna click cancel here. So now you should be seeing your dashboard like this. So we have discussed a lot of options here, but there is that option of if we want to terminate our machine or permanently delete our machine, how do we do that? So you would be asking, hey prof, we just created the machine, come on. Okay, let it breathe. Okay, anyway, so well, if you select your machine, if it's still selected, then you can see here instance state, and there's a terminate instance. So what does it do? Obviously it deletes the machine, but if your machine is started or powered on, then it's going to power off the machine and then terminate. It will just do both things at the same time. And if you see, first it's going to show here that it's shutting down, then when the red terminate sign comes here, that's your screenshot number 10. When the red terminate sign comes for you, that's your screenshot number 10. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my machine and I'm going to click terminate instance. I'm clicking terminate instance. Now it's going to shut it down, it's going to terminate it or delete it as well. So I'll click. Now it first says here, to confirm that you want to terminate the instance, choose the terminate button below. Terminating the instance cannot be undone, obviously. So I'm going to click terminate. So I clicked it, it's shutting down first. As soon as the red terminate comes, so that also means that you're good, like you don't have to worry about it, you can even sign out. Why? Because it's going to stay there. Terminate will stay there for some time, and you don't have to wait for the red terminate sign to go away, because on their side it's deleted already and there are no charges on you. Now I can see terminate written there, and I can click somewhere else. Okay, I'll click somewhere else. Really? That's not red? They changed the color? Okay, I'll just refresh the whole screen. Oh, it's gray red. It's gray red. Did I say gray red? It's gray. So guys, those who see terminate, then you can just take a screenshot number 10 here, that machine terminated, and I'll be back. You can just do that too. Okay, anyway, so you could just take your machine's name, screenshot there, EC2 instance terminated. EC2 instance terminated, and Nirvana's machine is still running. How come? And who else? Paul's machine is still running. Okay, so screenshot number 10 is that your that EC2 instance terminated. So EC2 instance terminated. Screenshot 10, EC2 instance terminated. Oh, okay. You have to move to another PC. So when the terminated is there, obviously That means that even if you sign out, it doesn't matter now. What I need to do is, oh, did I put that screenshot 10 title? Yeah. Screenshot 10 equals, okay, COMP3108, screenshot 10, Ec2 instance terminated. Okay. I'll refresh that page. Oh, okay. All terminated. So everything is terminated. Okay, so guys, everything is terminated here. So yeah, just you can upload your screenshots, and then you will ask where. So that's a very good question. Alright guys, oh, the value must be provided. So refresh week 6 and upload your screenshots, and see you Thursday. Alright, thank you, good night.